little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It is foolishness to take fire and put it under a bed. We will consume that bed. There should be other things that you can do, other things that you do as a source of income. Mine is consulting, training, and all of that. So in 2011, I was invited to South Africa by South African government to train leaders, not actors, beyond filmmaking, like you have been told today. They had what they called moral regeneration movement. If you remember, within that time, apartheid policy was so high. And then South Africans had gotten their freedom. But then the chain had left their minds, their hands, but it was still in their minds. So on getting there, something happened. On arrival, was put in a lagoon restaurant, hotel. In the hotel there, after resting a bit, I came down and I saw flotilla of aquariums. Aquariums of different sizes. The ones very big, the ones that contain the different sizes. Uncountable number of fish. But what captured my attention was when I went and I saw the artificial lake. And within that artificial lake, I saw this fish that looked very familiar. But the fish was very small. It is this normal fish that we have in our offices. You know those small, very small fish we put in our offices. What do we call it? Who knows what we call those fishes? The small fish that is inside the aquarium just for decoration. What do we call it? Thank you. What do we call it? Don't be shy. If you know it, shout it. Again. Again. It's goldfish. How many of you have seen goldfish before? But then this particular goldfish was as big as my hand. Bigger, much like 3 times the size of that point and kill croaker we used to eat. So as a Nigerian, I started taking pictures. You know, we Nigerians, we love pictures a lot. Let's don't pretend. If you like pictures, say I love it. I love it. If you love pictures, say I love it. I love it. So I said, having selfies with a goldfish. And in the midst of that, the manager came and said, I see you love our fish. I said, yes, it's beautiful. Too many colors, sharp colors on one fish. He now took me in. I entered a place that is extremely big, like 3 times this size. And when I got there, the next thing that would happen is he took me to one particular aquarium. The aquarium was the normal aquarium size that we used to have in Nigeria. And then I saw that same goldfish that I'm used to here in Nigeria. I said, hey, this is the fish that I know. He now said, why don't you take a selfie with it? I said, why? I have this one in my house. I know it very well, so I don't have to. This man now said something that shocked me. Everybody listen. He said, are you aware that this particular fish was hatched on the same day from the same mother fish? The same day, the same mama bought this one and the one we are taking pictures with. I said, it's not possible. This one I'm looking at now is this big. Not as big as half of my finger. The one I took pictures with is as big as my whole hand. How can they be brothers and sisters and hatched on the same day by the same mother? And he said that is the reality. He said this species of fish, whenever it is hatched from the eggs, it will swim around its environment. Anytime it will measure its environment, and it can only grow 0.000, I don't know how many 0. He counted, 0.5% of his environment. That means that he has the potential to be very big, but because of his environment, when he swings around and feels that there's a limitation, he will remain small. When that man said this, it touched me. I remember the one I saw outside. It was so big because when it was an end, they poured it into flowing water. Now, was it the fault of this little one that was in the aquarium that made it that small? Was it the one that put himself there? It was just that it was put inside a cage. And then my head traveled down to Nigeria, and I saw, in my mind I was like, there are so many of us that carries the same potential to be extremely big, but because of the environment we find ourselves. There are different kinds of environment. I'm not talking of environment is not where you live. Environment is factors that surround your existence, which includes where you were born. It includes your educational background. It includes your connection. It includes the people you relate with. It includes your personal innateness. It includes your good character and your bad character. All of these things are environment that can either explode you or limit you. That fish could not grow because it was put inside a glass. Some of us are still where we are today because we are still existing inside a glass.
So,
My God.
Now, who is in charge of expressing neurocinematics? Is it just an actor?
you're right with that.
An entertainer generally. Now, why is it that we as actors have the ability to express neurocinematics? I think one person who is intelligent, you raise your hand, you stand up and answer that question. Why? As actors, what made us able to do so? Yes, please.
It's because we are influential people and we always control the narrative. Control the narrative.
Put your hands together for him. How do we as actors control the narratives and influence neurocinematics? How do we do it? He said, because we are influential and we control the narrative. So the question now is how? Somebody, how? Yes, my brother.
I think creating a style, whatever thing you do.
In creating
A style, whatever thing you do.
So that means that if I just create a style in whatever I do, then I can be able to control the minds of people. Are you sure? How do we succeed in achieving this thing? Because you see, let me tell you, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Knowledge is a knowledge. In fact, knowledge can only be transformed to wisdom when there is a deep understanding of the reason and essence of that knowledge. Did you hear what I just said? You can come here after all the sacrifices you've made, after all the things you have done to make sure that you are here to learn. At the end of the day, you go back the same way you came. The reason is because you do not have adequate understanding of the knowledge that you have just gained. It might have just been, we have here, many of us have come to tell you about our story, how we became actors, how we got to where we are. A lot of us may have just come here to tell you that look, you can succeed, motivate you. But the truth is this, there's a thin line between knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. It is not the knowledgeable people that succeed, it's the people who knows how to apply the knowledge that they have. Meaning that you can know more than me, but as long as you are not applying the knowledge that you have, you cannot succeed as much as I am. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So that's why I need to be sure that you actually understand, you have a deep understanding of why you are here. So I ask you, how is it that an actor or an entertainer can use or wield neurocinematics as a tool? How? Thank you. I'm coming to you.
Firstly, how is because before the actor could actually achieve it, first of all, there needs to be a purpose for him doing it. Because he knows that if he actually achieved this purpose, he could really go around and impact a lot of people.
Okay, there are things I want to hear. I'm not hearing them yet. But you are correct, too. But there are things I want to hear. I don't know. Yes, please. Maybe you tell me. Apply the theory. Let them hear you. Apply the theory of what?
Fourth wall.
The fourth wall. What's the theory of the fourth wall?
Believing it's only you. Nobody seeing you. You are not seeing anybody. It's you, the camera, and yourself.
Okay, we'll help you build the two of narrow cinematics. You are very correct. Mind you, everyone who has spoken is correct. Am I making sense? It's just that you get one thing I want here. Yes, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
So I think how the actors are able to achieve the principle of narrow cinematic is by the two observation, following trends of things happening in the society. Good. Using social media.
Keep standing. Is there any other person that has an answer? Okay, more people. All right, thank you. Let's put our hands together for him. We can see.
Also influence others positively because the knowledge and wealth of everything of God in a way by using it to impact on others.
Wait. The knowledge you have.
Yes.
Now you can use it to impact others.
Influencing them positively.
Good. Put your hands together. That's beautiful. We are getting there. Yes.
Through creative ability.
Your creative ability. By your creative ability.
Yeah, you have to be dynamic in creativity.
Okay. Put your hands together for him.
So, first of all, the person is supposed to have a purpose. Then also has to create a content, a captivating content, in order to be able to attract.
Repeat that word. Everybody shout the word attract. Shout it again. Say attract. Say it for the last time. Say attract. I happen to be one of the, I train a lot of pastors and all of that, and I tell them one thing. Without attraction, there is no ministration. Do you understand what that means? Now, what he's trying to say, if I'm correct, is that in wielding the tool of narrow cinematics as adult actors, it means that if the people are not attracted to us first, there is no way they can be influenced by us. Do you understand that? Yes. That means that for me to even teach you, and you understand what I am teaching you, you must be attracted to me first. True or false? True. It means also that I might be the best teacher in the world as long as acting and training of actors are concerned. But if I do not make myself appealing to you, there is no way that anything I say will make sense to you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that? Yes. That means that without attraction, there is no ministration. So continue. Oh, you are done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Put your hands together for him.
Narrow cinematic could also arrive through having passion in a research work by studying, by reading, and then you acquire knowledge to influence it.
So you must start with passion.
Yes.
Then it goes to research.
Yes.
In order to develop a content
Yes.
that will be attractive.
Yes.
And when it's attractive, the people are now attracted.
Yes.
I'm coming back. Sit down. Put your hands together for her.
Yes,
Like
we are
ice
all,
and sugar.
yes, we are all very, very correct. But just like we need to understand that narrow cinematics is the ability to influence people through your acting. And
Please,
then we are
can you shout the
also,
word, say the word influence?
Influence.
Go ahead.
And then we are also made to understand various lectures that acting is the ability to create reality through mimicking, but not making it seem as though you're mimicking but real. So for you to be able to influence, coming back to narrow cinematic, for you to be able to influence your audience, one, just like the boss said, you must be professional and real.
Yes.
Be good, know your honor. And then you will be able to attract them. Because if you are not professional, if you are not good, just like that's why I said it's a top of coming back to influencing you talked about. Even if you're professional and you are not good on stage, you will not attract no one.
Yes.
No one is attracted to you, no one is drawn to you, no one cares to know what you are doing. So you have to be real. even if you're mimicking, make it real and professional.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's class. What am I teaching? Do it again for yourself, John. Breaking the word down. The first word in that word, it's an acronym, mixture of two words, together. The first one is what? Narrow cinematics. The first one is what? Narrow. Can I hear you? Narrow. Again? Narrow. Now, what does narrow mean? God bless you. It means what? The mind. The second word is what? Cinematic. The second word is what? Cinematic. Now, it sounds scientific, but it's more of art. You see, you cannot really separate science and art. You can't. You cannot say, okay, I am not into art. I am a science-related person. It's not possible. I started as a science student, and I can tell you for free that most of the things we are doing, for instance, during our work, we had to go through titration value, titration, and all of those things. These are still forms of art eventually. You cannot separate the two. Now, neurocinematics is the study, evaluation of human behavior based on their reaction. I'm not dictating, I'm just saying, I'm giving you the dictation on this our level. Based on their reaction to a particular motion picture. When they watch a film, they form a perception. They create a perception. Are you aware that a lot of people, why do you think that a lot of people in Nigeria and outside the country, they want to now be as rugged as Portable is? There are people who are following him and he's their role model. True or false? Now, some of you might sit back and say, why? But then, over time, you begin to listen. Zazu, your head begins to shake. Your head begins to shake. Your leg begins to shake. And before you know what's going on, they interviewed an old man of 50. Who is your role model? Was he 70 years? Who is your role model? He said, my role model is Whiskey. I said to you 2 days ago that sometimes if someone like, let me say, Davido, now decides, or Whiskey, or Burna Boy, now decides to carry this my hanky and put in his eyeglasses and now takes this as his trend. What do you think will happen? They will copy him. They will copy him immediately. What will happen? They will imitate him. They will do what? Imitate him. They will do what? Imitate him. Everybody wants to imitate him. Yeah, correct. Now, are you aware also, what is the reigning slang now?
Jesus is
not for anybody. What's the reigning slang? Okay, 2021st slang in Nigeria is what? It started from somewhere. Do you know that many of you sitting down here, you have created slangs that are stronger than no grip for anybody, but nobody is following that slang because you are not known yet. Hello? Right. The only thing that starts from up, anything that started from up must go down. Anything that starts from down and begins to go up cannot come down again. They said what is dead cannot die again. The problem a lot of us are having is because you have played one big role by chance, one big film by chance, and you were paid 1 million. You now assume in your mind that every other film, you now assume that you have arrived. Every other film I do, they must pay me. This is my price and my rating now. At the end of the day, we lose a very brilliant actor because they woke up when they were supposed to still be sleeping. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what you need to sacrifice as long as it's in the moral, it's still within your moral compass. But I have something to tell you. Those people you think they've been in the industry for 20 years, they are not yet big stars, making the big money. It just takes one film anymore. They are building foundation. Be careful when you begin to compare yourself, because I tell you this, after this training, there's an invitation that will happen naturally. A lot of you begin to get opportunities here and there. Don't let it get into your head. Don't ever compare yourself with someone who has been paying dues over the years, because okra, tomatoes, and iroko tree cannot germinate at the same day. So if you begin to curse an iroko tree, that this iroko tree has just been planted, it is not bearing fruit yet, you laugh at it because you are simple and okra or tomatoes that within 1 week or 2 weeks you begin to yield fruit. If you begin to laugh at that iroko tree, now time you go chop, you realize that you are just a candle in the wind. Take your time to get yourself rooted. Do not be in a hurry. Stardom is something you will enjoy till the end of your days, for the rest of your life. All this desperation I see, you are just entering the industry. You want to become a director by force. You want on your own. You will blackmail even the person that has put you in position. That's what's happening now. That's why it now looks like I see the people that has been there cannot help those that are coming up. Do you know how many people we have helped and they stabbed us behind? Do you know? Will I call Uncle Tony Oyewale here? Let him tell you the story of the people he has helped to climb, and then at the end of the day they matched his head without looking back. Desperation. And you younger generation of actors, you feel that the only way to be to the top is to pull down someone who is already there. So you initiate lies, things that never happen. Coin, paint the person black. Let me tell you, whatever a man sows. Sharply. You cannot spoil another person's stone and expect your own to be good. Hello, in order to solve that, conclude that first part, all we are advocating for is to get to that position where we can wield the tool called narrow cinematics, where we can now do films. And because we are in the film, people's behavior and perception will change because of what we did. It is narrow cinematics that has under it. In fact, it started in the 2000s. It's a new knowledge. So it's not up to 24 years. It started in the 2000s, but it has been there from the beginning. But then, there was no specific research on it. But when you look at it deeply now, you see that the theory of empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is feeling the feeling of other people. I am acting, and in the film, I am crying. Now, because they see you cry, they also do what? Cry. Because they see you happy, they also become what? Happy. It is not about being an actor. It's about understanding the purpose of being an actor. Now, when you now understand that if I laugh, everybody will laugh. If I come to social media now and cry, there are 200 people that will cry with me. When you get to that point, then your journey of an actor or to becoming an actor is already being fulfilled. When you get to the point where you say, oh, I am not going to wear shoe for 1 week, and you find 1,000 people say, because you're not going to wear shoe, we too will not wear shoe. When you begin to have your fans. When you enter a place, you don't need to introduce yourself anymore. People know you. I'm not craving to be a star as an actor. What I am doing now is my purpose. Are you sure that you have identified your purpose? If you have, this is the ladder you must climb. First is understanding that your ultimate goal is influence. Can I hear you say influence? Influence. Can you shout to ladder? Say influence. Influence. So in order to achieve that, like she said, you must be good at your craft. You must know what you're doing. Understand what you're doing. How do you start it? The first thing we mentioned was communication. Do you remember? Yes, sir. And we said that communication is transmission of information from one person to what? With a what? With a feedback. And under communication, we mentioned a law. And what is that law called? Knowledge of what? No, I didn't say information. Knowledge of what? Interaction. Thank you. Knowledge of what? Interaction. Shout it louder if you heard it. Knowledge of what? Interaction. You say interaction. Interaction. Knowledge of interaction. That's where it starts. And knowledge of interaction simply states that you communicate with people or you express a line in a script according to your own personal level, Like if I'm giving a script, and the script is the role of a carpenter that's never been to school, will I interpret the script like myself or like the carpenter? Like the carpenter. That means if I'm a PhD holder, and my name is Dr. Zacchaeus, and I'm giving a script of a houseboy, and I speak big, beautiful English, and they give me that script, and I look at that script, and I begin to read that script the way I speak normally. Have I acted?
No.
No, sir. Am I a good actor?
No, sir.
So what are we saying? That knowledge of interaction says you express the lines in the script according to who? The character. The character. According to who? The character. No, you express the character. You express the character in the script according to what? Somebody say something right. According to what? Say it again. Again. So knowledge of interaction says express the character according to the what? Again. Those of you that did linguistics will know that supra segments are reading, stress, tone, intonation, all of those things. So supra segment of expressing your lines in a film is understanding your movement. When I started this lecture, I didn't start speaking this way. I started calm, and then eventually I started drawing you, making sure that we are on the same page. Then we now flew. Right now, we are at a pedestrian where no matter how fast I am, you can cope with me. If I started like this from beginning, you wouldn't have understood me.
Yes, sir.
These are the things that we look out for. How do you start? Where did you undergo a metamorphosis? Where do you return? These are the questions you ask. When you interpret your lines that way, when you interpret the scripts that way, I'm telling you that there's no director that will not want to work with you again. Understanding the cameras from the point of view of an actor. As an actor, you must understand the shots. You must understand the shot angles. For instance, we're talking about, listen, what is our ultimate goal? To manipulate what? I said our ultimate goal is that eventually we'll be able to manipulate something. Which we started with, that word. Influence, right? And I call this something, narrow what? Our ultimate goal is to manipulate what? Our ultimate goal is to manipulate the tool of what? How do you manipulate it if you don't express professionalism? And who is a professional? A professional is that one who expresses his duties with deep understanding, effectively and efficiently. Effectively on time, efficiently doing it very well. Effectively and efficiently. And anyway, the major tool that you work with as an actor are the cameras. Without the cameras, you are not doing anything. Now at the end of the day, I have to shoot you and someone. Come please. Come. Now, I want to, both of them are talking. I would answer that question, don't worry. Both of them are talking, okay? And the blocking has been given. And I say it is a preset. Everybody say preset. Preset. Preset is an instruction given to the DOPs and the actors to show that whatever we are about to shoot, we are assumed that both of you have started talking before you got there. Am I making sense? Yes. That means that the preset is an instruction given. Write it in the way you can understand, record, okay, because of time. It's an instruction given to the DOPs and also to the actors to show that there has been, it's a pick-up, put it that way, that's the way you understand. It's a pick-up of a conversation or an action that had been performed. That means we've been doing it. And I say it's a preset. It means that we have set them. They are positioned already before the camera opens. Am I making sense? Yes, sir. Now, so that's a preset. So that I will mobile everything together. If it were only her we were shooting, and I say close-up shot, there are different levels of close-up. Some of us, like me, you hear me tell my DOPs, move into details. Now, sometimes I don't wait to cut from master to details. When I see that I'm getting certain expression I need from my character. So it can be a white shot, and I say cut. Cam 1, move into details. Cam 2, maintain medium. Details of who? Details of, what's your name? Josephine. Details of Josephine. And then they would go and give me a close CU or a mid CU, whatever CU that I demand to complement his own. Now, I could say I want CU, that is close up, but I want it as a profile or OS. Everybody say OS. OS. OS is over the shoulder. That means they are both talking to themselves. Have I asked you to talk? See this man, he has wanted to toast this girl. See this? I just give him an opportunity now. Okay, so so this is this camera that is here. I want to take Josephine's CU. Are you looking up? Yes. That is you standing there because you are an actor. We are not training DOPs here now. We are training actors, right? Yes. Now I want to take Josephine's CU from this angle. Now, if I'm taking her CU, it's only natural that part of his profile from his neck to his shoulder will show a bit. But we're going to rack the focus. Rack the focus is you make some part blur and you make some part sharp. So his ears and his shoulder will show a bit, but it will be blurred. The focus will be where? On Josephine. Am I making sense? Yes. Now, if you lack camera intelligence, this is what you are going to do. First law against camera intelligence is restrict your movements. Some of you want to act. And director like Dr. Henry will say, stop moving. You now stop dancing. The next thing is, did you think that I did not know what you're saying? You now move again. Please, I know that anxiety is what makes us move to calm our heads down. Am I making sense? So usually I'll just shout cut. This is what I do. Beyond directing, I'm a psychologist too. So I'll go to my DOP. I will start gisting them something that does not concern you. You will see us laugh. That tension in you will calm down. When it calms down, I expect that the movement will stop. Because if I begin to tell you, why are you moving? Stop moving. The tension will become more. So I ignore you and I go and do. Or I will go and talk. We'll tell you, not you, not you, not you. And we'll go and do our thing. When you see us laugh a bit, or you hear me shout to my crew, Oluwa! Baba. A movie is a movie. How about it? But why? What do they? You see, when we do that, the tension comes down and then the movement stops. But the truth is this. The truth is this. That movement is out of tension most of the time. You now see that. And then number 2, why do you move? You are calculating, am I doing it well? Hey God. Oh God. Number 3, why do you move? You are trying to remember your life. Okay, she said, are you mad? I will now say, are you going up? Hey, what did she say after are you mad? This man is about to call action. No, Chimo. These are the reasons you are moving. But then, what does your movement do to my camera? Can I tell you what it does? Minus blocking. What was the language you used that she asked? What was it Friday? Minus maxing. I'm coming to maxing. What it does is, most of the cameras we use today, when we select our frame, we have our shot boundary, point A to point C, and we clean up. When you hear DOP say, Director, I'm cleaning up, have they told you stand still? You remember? Why are they telling you to freeze, to stay still? They are cleaning up to remove every gray, every blur, everything that is on your face. Now, when you need to stand still to clean up, what now happens? I'm about to call action. You now begin to move. After shooting, the shot will be blurry. Without all those movements, I don't know if you are getting me. Yes. That's called camera what? Intelligent. You work on yourself so that the camera can work with you.
Yes.
Do you get what? That's the summary of camera intelligence. Work on yourself so that the camera can effectively work with you without having issues. So the moment you begin to give all those blurry shots and movement, unnecessary movement of your hand, you move hand like this, you move hand like that, you do like this, you do like all of those things blur the shot and it annoys the DOP.